Hello, you're watching We've Been, hosted by Avatar Galextra and Andraggon on Facebook Live, on YouTube Live. I forget all the time.
Shall I?
Go ahead.
This broadcast is called today the global genocide that science is calling COVID-19. We're continuing to Donald J. Trump coming into our home on scene using the same technology that is being used today to commit global genocide against human beings, using that technology that allows him to come into our space wearing a cloak of invisibility to commit crimes against the avatar on a daily and nightly basis for decades now. So we're continuing to sound the alarm that the same technology being used to attack the avatar and the family also being used for over a year and a half in the mucus inside their bodies from inside the fourth dimension by a squadron of American agents who are wearing a cloak of invisibility to commit. A million people have been infected with a disease that is neither a virus of any kind nor is it contagious in any way, but it's actually a biochemical disease that is created today. So, Avatar,
Well, as I, what was I saying?
speak, and she will. Her ability to communicate with you is attacking the cavities of her brain continuously for decades with a light shaped like a dagger that he plunges in and out of the
Well, now
cavities of the
he's
brain.
just attacking. It's like a thinner attack.
Yes.
However, it's causing me bad headaches. It's also causing me memory problems.
Yeah.
And he also used that device that he had to wipe out the memory that I had in the past of what he has been doing to me. And so Nancy Pelosi, as I have to say, was the person who shouted to Trump and Trudeau to kill out my family. And they did just that. So she continued by sending, when I
Treat you like a terrorist.
yeah, treat me like a terrorist and
Take your life from
take
you.
my life. And so attacking and abusing me on the way for a long time. Now he's doing that inside of the home. He came in this place that we are living, and he's on the third floor.
Unseen.
For us, it's the roof, but it's not the. It's the third floor, and he's there unseen because Nancy Pelosi gave him a technology, and the United States government gave him a technology with vast capabilities that they weaponized, and he has been using this technology to destroy the teeth in my mouth, give me rotten teeth, broken teeth suddenly appears, and then the other one he pulled them, and they're not they're weak. It seems that they have become very weak by what he has been doing to them. So now he comes with his cloak of invisibility weapon, and the other areas of that weapon that he uses to attack me on an every night basis.
From the top of her head,
yes,
to the sole of her feet.
At time attacking my knees, and the bones, and every bone in my body was pulled out with that technology. And he also used it to attack me under the feet. Right now I'm being attacked right here at the back of my head. And that is to tell me I shouldn't say anything. And what he doesn't know is that with me, you can't stop me from speaking. Why? Because that's my right. If you can do damage to me, I have to speak about it. The public has to know the kind of evil that is taking place in their society. And Nancy Pelosi is, I'm hearing, is directing a lot of different things. I believe she's responsible for the African people in the United States being killed because they were using the police at a certain time. and the way Nancy Pelosi was behaving and the things that she was doing, told me that she has definitely been doing a part of all of this and using the police to do things. They don't have to tell the police anything. They have technology that they could use to get them to do what they want them to do.
And the racism and the culture
Exactly.
is built in for centuries.
Yeah, it's in the fabric of the culture.
Yes.
And this is the kind of stuff that is destroying our society, our world. Wherever these people go, they create. Was not something that just happened. COVID-19 was created by the United States government.
Yes.
And had it put out there to destroy people. Then they started killing out African people after a period of time. I guess they couldn't use COVID-19 anymore. What they're doing. But what they're doing is literally playing games on the people, killing out African people, killing. No kid will have guns in their hands. And the only time you will find people looking for guns, there will be other people, not children. And they use that opportunity to give impressions that these kids had guns. This is the kind of stuff they did to our child. Our son was in school, and he and his friends, they were all Caucasian boys, and my son is African. Like he was just listening to what these kids were saying as friends, and took my son to jail for no reason. He wasn't even holding marijuana, and he wasn't smoking it, and he never smoked marijuana, even though I did.
He was set up.
He was set up by the United States government intentionally to terrorize and persecute children of color, and my son is a child of color, so is our daughter. Mr. Trump also did this. He terrorized my daughter, he raped her, and got Mr. Trudeau to do the same. And then when he didn't finish with that, she was scared of him. So what he was doing, he was forcing food down her throat and gained her a lot of weight. This is a young lady who worked and took pride in making sure she got her body back in the past. And she exercised, she did all the work, she kept her body shape, and then we did not know this man was coming in unseen and doing this damage to our daughter.
He was making
it with her money,
yes,
and he was forcing it down her throat.
Yes, using her body as a Trojan horse, which means you can use this technology to go inside the body or say things that they wouldn't do on their own. And we've seen this done to me, and we've seen this done to our daughter.
He also, Nancy Pelosi also had my family killed when they came to visit me in the United States. The way people of Caucasian, European people behaving, and not all of them, but those who are running things like Nancy Pelosi and the United States government. I rang the FBI for the second time to tell them about what is being done to us. They did not care. They're not going to do what we want. They're supposed to do. As FBI agents, they're supposed to check and see what's going on in the United States government, and why Mr. Trump is being allowed to use this technology and terrorize me and my family when we have done nothing wrong but spoke the truth about what I saw that took place, that had me all over the place and attacking and abusing me for years, decades. We need this kind of insanity stopped. These people running the government are not good people. People of color, not just African people. Apparently, they were doing that to Oriental people too, possibly Indian people. A lot of people of color are being persecuted and terrorized and taken low wages.
And the culture for centuries.
Yes.
The people of color are put at the bottom of things, and those from the major culture are given the best of everything because they're taught and told that they are members of a superior master race.
Yes.
Which is a bunch of
policy and prejudices. I was terrorized in movies that I did. I was not
a movie extra.
I was a movie extra. Thank you. I couldn't remember the word.
It's okay.
I was also working in fashion boutiques, but I have been persecuted and terrorized so much after a period. I couldn't even, the only thing I can do is get money for myself and create a business. Well, I was not allowed the freedom to do that. I was terrorized in every stage. They were sending me men to try to sleep with me, and I was not interested in the men in any of those men. because I was already married, and I was not interested in hopping from one person to another. Men, when they're allowed the freedom to practice those areas of development. When they are not practicing those areas of development, they are doing evil things because they do not know how to behave responsibly. Lack of training by parents. When you keep the parents working, something is going to give, and they are the ones who are suffering all the little details of payment that they have to give to the systems when the systems are rubbing them blind with either which way. It did not matter. They are going through hell for being African people. I saw African men just taken and put in jail, and many of them were not doing what they were saying that was being done, that they were doing to these men. They were lying and they were away and killing people in cars. I mean, the United States is a ridiculous place now because of what Nancy Pelosi and the rest of her government is doing. This is what Trump is a part of.
Trump's government poisoned Americans for 4 years with a bunch of twisted, deluded in policies, practices that has caused that nation to become even more divided and more inflamed than it has been for a long time, because it's brought all the gunk that's inside the hearts and minds of human beings to the surface, and now it's being displayed all across America, and people are now speaking out about injustices, inequalities, inequities being done to them and others by people who decide that they are entitled to have the useless eaters and commodities from the cradle to the grave.
That's why I came to Canada. I felt I would be treated better in Canada than we were being treated in the United States. We weren't doing anything wrong, I promise you. We haven't broken any laws. We haven't done anything wrong. They have been doing all the damage to us. Trump cut off all of my hair and our daughter's hair. Her hair is now growing back, but it's still not in good condition. Every time the hair grows an inch, he's writing the book that he cuts off my hair, cuts her hair off too, attacking her hair as if he has a right to do whatever he wants with us. I would say that they committed a crime. A lot of them are calling people criminals that really weren't criminals. A lot of African males were being put in jail for things they did not do. They would know that that some Caucasian men were doing certain things, and they would force that upon the African person.
Yes.
There's a lot of gimmicks going on in the United States that a lot of people don't even know. I ran to Canada with Miss Nancy Pelosi telling the Canadian government to kill me. And I'm being attacked on the head right here and right now. Donald Trump, right in the roof there.
Yes, so he comes down here.
Yes.
And
this man is using coats of invisibility, and the police came to go and stop him from behaving the way he is. He kept coming back.
But they couldn't
see him. But you know something? There are ways in which they can find out where the person is. Carry an animal with you, a dog. They are very good. They can pick up things really fast.
They can see the fourth dimension.
Yes.
Very clearly. Yes.
You carry the dog with you, go to the place where that other dog is, Mr. Trump, and the dog will show you where he is.
But
you won't be able to see him, but they can always spray something like vinegar.
He teleports within a second or two with a gadget, and he's gone as if it wasn't this.
He's an evil man. And to hear how some people are speaking about him tells me that they don't know him. If they did, they wouldn't be speaking that way about him.
He's a jackal-headed demon.
Underwear?
Robin.
I mean, things just go missing.
Yes. We have to lock up everything we can of value in different things to keep this jackal-headed demon from stealing, damaging, destroying things owned by the Avatar.
After he cuts off my hair and did damage left, every time he keeps cutting out, he just keeps cutting it off.
The follicles.
And while we're sleeping. Also too, he has been attacking me in the rectum and in the womb using that technology. It's very painful, and he cares nothing about that. So I told him one day, I'd like to just take something and cut off what's between his legs, because he's an evil man. He raped our daughter.
He's raped, but 24 women in the States raped or assaulted.
Do you know we
That's
haven't been
right.
able to get a lawyer, and Mr. Trudeau told us won't get a lawyer. So the United States is doing the same.
Hmm.
They're telling us that we won't be able to get a lawyer because they know very well that if we had a lawyer, we would definitely win and they would have to pay quite a lot of money. I'm not asking for any hundreds. I'm asking for billions. And the reason is because of the kind of hell I've been put through since I went in the United States and it's going on still. I came in Canada, same problem taking place because she's bringing trying to come and do damage. And I wish I had something that I could just beat that man because he really is making me angry. This is what happens. They're prejudiced like hell, and they're sent out to go and do killings, trying to kill me for years, putting all kinds of stuff in my body, interfering with my water, interfering with our food,
Stealing money, stealing whatever.
I've lost money from my bag. I mean, that should not have been happening. We could not work and then have people come in and tell us we're lazy, we don't want to work, like Mr. Trudeau. We've never been lazy in our lives, not once. But we know when to stop, when people are persecuting us in a kind of persecution we've received. And in the streets, everywhere, whoever they sent out to do it, did it. In the buses, I was being persecuted.
Gang stalks. Yes. The reason for the massive amount being asked for by Avatar Galextra is because the team that she's a member of, the Committee of Gods, numbering billions of male gods and trillions of female gods, have decided that this death owed to bring about a new way of being to life on the flag of this planet. This amount has to be paid because a lesson has to be taught to nations that they do not have the right to technology created by gods as a weapon to attack and terrorize another gods, members of the family, or any planeted beings that they decide they have a right to use this weapon against. So the amount owed to this nation, US and Canada, will both see. And it will mean, hopefully not, that these two nations will be pulled inside 3 oceans of water surrounding them by Lady Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature herself, and they will disappear from the surface of the planet as if they never existed in the first place. And that's the God's truth.
Yeah, they like to set up people of color to have people persecute them, and also try to see if they can pull them into jail while persecuting them. So a lot of African males and females are being treated in such a manner because nobody is looking at the truth about it. And when you try to speak to the FBI about the problems, they're just as bad as the government.
Tell us we're imagining things. We have deluded. We are people with wild imaginations because there's no such thing as cloaks of invisibility.
Now, let me tell you about the imagination. If we're imagining this, my husband was abused by Mr. Trump too. He almost killed him at different times.
Open heart surgery. I had that done.
Exactly.
Destroyed one of the valves inside my heart.
Yes.
3-4 years ago.
And it didn't stop there. He continued to attack the man to try to see if he could become disabled.
Massive strokes to paralyze my body, so I will not be able to weave information together the Avatar brings for me to do so for you to get in written form.
So he attacked our daughter, gave her a lot of weight and then set up people to was doing it to her long before. He even raped her in her room.
Yes.
And I did not know. When in the morning, Mahogany woke me up and told me, "Mom, I was raped. I was forced upon by Donald J. Trump, and he brought Mr. Trudeau." She never harmed anyone. She was respectful to everyone, and this is how she got treated for behaving responsibly. All of us, same problem. We do not go around attacking and abusing anyone. We treat people with dignity,
respect,
reverence. But I've been pushed to the limit, and I've had enough people in the society. They're too busy being people. See, this is how they set up African men for decades. Nobody even bothered because they're the right color. They don't care. They still don't care. I mean, I love all people. They're my family.
Yeah.
For me not to love them, I'll be the idiot. But I'm disappointed to see that human beings will stoop this eyes and ears. He's still trying to floor,
Yes.
and they have everything else locked up, I guess, to protect him there.
Well, he's unseen, so he can just come and go, and no one.
He can come and go, but we can't come. He's being treated this way.
It was
Feelings or our rights. They're just letting stay there. They're not even making attempts to have this stopped, and we are paying rent for here. For how long?
the police can't stop him because he's can be seen with human eyesight.
All he has to do is to carry a dog with him.
The dog.
The dog will show him directly where that person is.
Yes.
The dogs have been used in the past too, to catch human beings that have been committing something they had in the past. This is something that is being used. They could use, and this is what they did. They brought the dogs with them.
Yes.
Or one dog,
Yeah.
and that dog will goes directly to where that person is.
This club, they have a gadget that allows them to teleport immediately from where they are anywhere they want to be. Different from the past when people like King Arthur and others have cloaks that they create using different devices like rings.
Well, then all they have to do is go straight to the United States, confront Nancy Pelosi, and confront the American government with the behavior that they're allowing to go on.
And the information is classified by the U.S. government when they have things doing behind the scene in their black ops programs. You can't talk about it. You can't tell anyone about it. We can, because we're not working for the government. For the people working for them, they have to sign these forms saying that they will not divulge any information about the work that they're doing, especially when they're working for the American military.
Well, then the United States government needs to start. They were threatening these people with sending the army to come and, I guess, to do what they want to these people. And
your
these
sister
are the things.
Your sister and brother God, your sister God especially, said that what is being done to you and to the human race by these people using this technology to go back committing these crimes unseen, this will cause these two nations to be pulled under the waters and disappear from the face of the earth if changes aren't being made.
People, stop setting them up to look like criminals. You are treating these people wrong, and you're not a nice person, Nancy Pelosi. You and Trump needs to go and live someplace and die, because you're no good for the people. And your FBI, they are just as I'm disappointed in them.
Tentacles of the government.
They're not there. Even every time we try to get the help from the FBI would not help. You know why? Because FBI is working for the United States government.
Yes.
And they would not go against the United States government. And you know something? If they're FBI, whether they're working for the United States government or not, if the United States, they cannot take sides anymore, because human beings are being literally killed out because of these people. I could hardly speak because of the teeth that this man has pulled out from my mouth and took a tooth like this and bend it over, was able human beings are behaving like. These are the kind of people that are now running your country. It's time for you to fight for your rights and stop allowing people to get away with being presidents and they don't know how to handle the presidency. If they can't deal with the wrongs and get rid of it and help the people who helped them and who didn't help them, the point is that they're there to be helped, not to be treated in such a manner, not to be think that it's okay and just ignore the person that helped you to begin with. The people that are helping you are watching you. We are saying this. It's time for the United States government to start taking the action and of making sure Nancy Pelosi is behaving responsibly, and that has stopped Trump from working with him and get her out of the United States government, because she's no good there. She isn't caring about anybody. She's setting up all kinds of hell for people. And
that's behind the scenes, because Trump and Pelosi, they're in two different parties opposing each other. Trump is supposed to be Republican, and Pelosi is supposed to be a member of the Democratic Party. So these two parties,
they should be thrown out. I'm not themselves properly. All they know to do is to set up people to kill you. They're evil.
And Trump no longer is in office. even though he's still controlling the Republican Party.
And he's getting away with all of that. Now, if that was an African person, he would be into a mental institution where he belongs. He's a mentally disturbed, ignorant man.
And more, yes. He's not the.
This is what he did to his daughter.
Sorry.
This is, I'm sorry, darling, I cut you. He was a president. President hell.
Unfair.
He didn't even deserve to be a president.
Unqualified.
He did a lot of wrong things.
Incompetent.
Pushy. But I'm very angry because what Trump has been doing, I've been just now attacked again by him. He's all right. Because people like that do not belong amongst other people. They're toxic.
Demons.
They're twisted. This man gets away with rape. You go to the bathroom, you're being attacked.
Yes, sleeping, you've been attacked.
You're going out to the store with your husband to buy groceries. He's following and attacking at times.
You're doing a show, he's attacking.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, I want Donald J. Trump locked up in a mental institution where he belongs. He does not belong around any environment. He's toxic. He's a danger to all human beings, even people of his own. I want this corruption to be stopped. Nancy Pelosi, you don't have the right to be able to send this junk to come and do damage to this family who has done nothing to anyone. We are being held prisoners for no reason, and we are paying rent for it.
So human beings need to know how to solve. And for doing that, they're trying to destroy our lives and destroy our state of mind, destroy our well-being.
The leaders need to be trained to behave more like leaders, because right now, what I'm seeing for leaders, I'm disappointed. Corruption is everywhere. We want this stopped. And we want it stopped now.
Yes.
And this garbage that he has done to my mouth, you need to get him back, give that machine to someone with intelligence and let them fix what has been done. Because I cannot tolerate this kind of treatment. I could hardly chew or speak without being harmed by what you have set up for my mouth.
Attacks in the body continuously. Yes.
My husband, surgeon, what to do? Sabotage my breast implants.
Yes.
So I have one up and one down, one too small, one too big. Is this what someone should be able to do to another person without going, if it was someone like us doing that to another, we would have been in jail by now, some time ago. At the get-go, to be more specific. He tried to kill my husband. He tried to kill me. He did damage to our daughter. I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Why are you persecuting people of color? Why don't you persecute yourselves? You're bad enough. And Nancy Pelosi, you are not a nice human being. I used to admire you. Now I don't. The reason is you're too jealous. You're too prejudiced. You're too ignorant. And you don't belong to be someone that's running the country.
She's the Speaker of the House.
But you could tell she's running the country. She sent Trump to kill me.
See,
I just got attacked in the womb again.
Yes, she's given Trump. She's the one running the country. The office of the president is in the White House. Currently, President Joe Biden is America's president.
And he hasn't done anything about Nancy Pelosi and what she's doing?
Well, because if it's being done using that technology that is classified, he will not be allowed to say a word about this technology being used by his own military against anyone.
No, but he could kick out Nancy Pelosi. She's an evil woman.
Well, she might be.
If she is doing this damage to anybody, she does not belong in the presidency. Don't you get it?
In the government.
They're not supposed to be doing that. These are illegal acts that should get them in jail.
Criminal acts, yes, committed by.
You're violating the rights of other people, doing damage to their bodies, destroying different parts of their bodies, like their hair, their eyes, their mouth, their nose, their ears.
Using the technology
That is not something that any president should allow in his presidency, because nobody's going to respect him.
Until the story gets out there for the people to know about, and for the media to talk about, these crimes being done to you and your family remain in the background outside.
I want the voters to know, not in the United States, in the government. Vote for people that you know are intelligent enough to know what right and wrong is, and when human beings in the manner in which I saw the United States use the police to do to people of color. This is wrong. It's evil. You should be put in jail. I would advise that the United States government put Nancy Pelosi and Donald J. Trump in jail for the kind of actions that they have taken, that they have done recently to me, to my family, trying to kill us, deforming my mouth, putting lines on my face that I did not have, putting all kinds of stuff and cutting off my hair and cutting it on a regular basis, coming and stealing and disappearing with it, like our shades, 2 pairs of shades, one blue for my husband, and I have them in black cases that with zippers on it. One that I had scarves, and so this man is stealing.
Your gowns that you created,
he stole
your black crystal, $1,000, stole that. Your corset that helped you keep you back from being attacked, stole that. Different clothes that you bought, he's stolen them from you. He's continually stealing anything and everything he chooses to steal, and from inside the 4th dimension.
He steals it, and you don't see it ever again. He is a thief, the biggest one you can find. Anybody telling me they respect him because he was president, I'll say this to them: you're not very smart. Because if you only know what kind of person that man is, I don't think you'll be so eager to say these things, nice things about him, especially when you see the kind of person that he is. This man brought his children to attack and abuse me in the United States. Unseen. This is the kind of stuff he told me he was going to do it, and he did. I was viciously attacked on my. Now he said he's going to pardon his children. Why?
He's not a good president. He's not in office. He can't do anything because he's not out of the government. The Avatar's memory has been tampered with. Sometimes she mixes up events and gets them in the wrong order. Trump is no longer president, but is behaving as if he has a power of a president, because he's trying to destroy the nation by using his supporters to attack anyone that challenges or speaks about what he's done in the government, and is now going to be brought to justice through different trials that will come up, where he will be put on trial for a whole bunch of crimes he's committed while in office.
Well, if they're intelligent enough, they will just put him in a mental institution. That's where he belongs.
Well, the courts have to first.
The things that he has been doing, the terrorization that we have gone through, says that this is the kind of treatment that he needs. He needs to be put in an institution where he could learn to behave as a proper human being. If he can get there, then he can stay there. He needs to be kept locked up.
Your sister gods and brother gods have told me, a number of them, each time they come here and they feel them attack anybody, they tell me, I can take this demon out, but the Avatar said we shouldn't touch him because so her sister and brother gods, respecting their leaders' wishes, have not done anything from. Although they're now in the process of bringing in a solution to the problems being caused by Trump and others, where those in power who are abusing human beings will find themselves being removed from office. And if the nation of the US continues to attack you and human beings with this technology and not pay the debt owed to them, they will be into the waters surrounding them by Lady Gaia herself, with the support of other gods if needed. So in Canada, the dream you had as a 5-year-old, where you saw Lady Liberty in 4 stages being covered completely in water, confirmed 20 years later, when you stood inside the home of our singing teacher, voice teacher,
I
and you
forgot
saw the
that.
earth shaking
So
under your
long.
feet,
Yeah.
and you asked me and teacher Marcella, did you feel anything shaking? And we said no. You knew instantly that it was Lady Gaia.
Is one of the designs that I have created, and Mr. Trump stole them all. I haven't seen them since.
Wardrobes, about a dozen wardrobes.
This is what I am, an avatar, and this is the outfits that I'm supposed to be wearing. They were sending people from the government to come a lot of money, and when he stole these things, because these were worth at least 300 for these gowns.
Yes.
They're very expensive, and it had how many colors in them?
A
Two or
number,
three.
yes. And the headdress here is called a cat, Khat.
KHAT.
If you go to the Avatar
Close up.
songs, she has 4 songs
This is
online,
it.
and this outfit is one that she's wearing
Mhm.
with these 4. This picture is on attached to those songs. Life always looks
Looks
after
after
its
its
own.
own.
A new way of being.
Mother Earth is a
No,
person
no,
too.
these 4 songs. Planet Earth is a person too. So
Mother
our
Earth.
planet their lives.
Okay,
One
life
is
always looks after its own. Mother Earth
marriages can last
marriages can
forever.
last forever.
And
Only you owns
no, no,
you.
the 4 songs. Being about life always looks after its own. Uh, a planet on the seas.
Mhm.
Marriages can last forever, and
Only you owns
beings
you.
of
Beings
living
of
life.
living light
Those
also.
4 songs are
But
there.
only you owns you, which we did not
Those-
have music in it.
Yeah, there are a dozen songs the Avatar has brought the knowledge of timeless truths, ancient knowledge, and deep wisdom to give to human beings to show them how to transform their world, starting from inside. And these have not been published or made into an album because they prevented us from bringing.
Yeah, and I've forgotten a lot of it because of what he did, wiping out my memory.
Mhm.
So I have to try to get the information that I have in paper. My husband put that down for me, and he's really good at it.
And you rehearse the songs
Yes,
and the lyrics that
yeah.
you put together
Yeah.
of the different songs. Beings of living light,
Yes.
each other's keepers,
Yes.
equals forever,
Yeah.
only you owns you,
Yeah.
higher learning,
Yeah.
a new way of being. Yes.
This is what happens when other people come and start doing damage to another person to try to turn them into criminals, because they're fighting for their lives, and when they fight for their lives, they take them and put them in jail and call them criminals. Trump and Trudeau to kill out my family, and all my mother came to do, and my sister, is to see me, because I was Nancy Pelosi told them to kill my family out, and then they did.
The mother, father, an older brother,
Now
and
she
an older
sends
sister.
Trump. Sorry. Now she sends Trump to come there to attack me because I'm telling people
Unjust.
as just as your government
Yeah,
is.
law enforcement, all the tentacles of government.
They are
Prostitute.
corrupt because
The reason
you do what we want. You're a part of our system.
Yes.
We'll take you out if you don't do what we want.
Yes.
And they have been doing a lot of evil and getting away with killing people, doing whatever they want.
True.
Nobody puts them in jail. No one even speaks about it.
True.
Should be in jail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I cut you off.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay. We're both trying to share information.
Yeah.
That's important for people to know. One of the reasons why they've been trying to, one of the reasons why the Avatar has been attacked viciously for a number of decades now, especially in the last 2 years, is because she is the one person who has direct knowledge about the technology being used to commit this global agenda. One who has provided most of the information in the document that we've put together called the global genocide that science is calling COVID-19. And so they are trying to kill her body. They've killed her body 16 different times, according as mentioned, a number of her extended family members, and they've tried to kill our daughter at birth and other crimes.
Yeah.
But They don't want the avatar to remain in this physical world because she is the one person who can provide evidence about the crime that's been committed against you, the people, to create this animal into the human genome. So they don't want the avatar living as a human being on this planet anymore.
My sister and I were going to school in Trinidad and kill us.
Mhm.
My sister had to grab my hand and we ran as fast as we could, climbed up, went up there to the place we were living, and we were just happy to get out of there,
Mm.
make changes, and so they came to take me out.
For the 17th, actually, at the time, but at birth, they tried to kill her unseen. An assassin came into the maternity ward where she was born and tried to suffocate the God who lived that Lord Jesus to death. He was returned to the planet with a new, different, and completely unexpected identity as a newborn baby girl in that three twin tropical island with three peaks called Trinidad and Tobago, sometime during the 1950s. So this campaign to try to kill this avatar has been ongoing all of our life. And because of what we're doing now with this technology that they weaponize, they don't want us, me, the person who lived as Albert Einstein about 65 years ago, one of the chief deities for the Hindus, or Krishna, one of the Christians' chief deity, Lord Jesus. They don't want this God to remain on this planet so that she can provide you with a body of timeless truths, ancient knowledge, and deep wisdom to bring into your life what she calls a new way of being that is on course to come to planet Earth after all the garbage is cleared out from the hearts and minds of human beings and the planet itself, Lady Gaia, the ancient living planetized being, is restored back to full health so that she can look after all of her mortal tenants, not just human beings, and bring them into a state of being that human beings never dreamt they could ever experience, ever, ever twice. Where are we? Mm, we're at seeing the time so that we don't go over an hour.
Yeah.
And okay, so we're at 51 minutes.
Okay,
So
so
you
we
can,
can stop now.
yes.
We are happy to speak to you about the problems. We wanted to make sure the truth knows that we are aware that what he has been doing to us, and we're not going to keep that quiet as he likes.
No.
And that's why I was being attacked, because I'm speaking against him because of what he had, and he gave enough information so we can speak about it.
Mm.
If he really wants to have the problem stopped, then he needs to go back and live with Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, that would be quite a sight. Republican,
And stop following us
Democrat.
and harassing us, because that's terrorization.
Yeah.
And we were being tortured. I was being tortured, especially in the United States.
Mm-hmm. And in Canada.
Yes, and Canada.
Over 4 decades.
This is the kind of stuff that your government and the United States government and the Canadian government has been doing. Did not do anything to deserve and be treated in such a manner. Why are they doing this? Why are they setting up a blame for things that they are doing? It's time for that kind of insanity to be stopped, and you need to stop voting for people that are not worth the vote.
Yes.
Vote for people that are good, people who can do the right job.
Mm-hmm. Who can actually work as you say, servants of the people.
Yes.
Not as servants for their paymasters and those controlling your money, your assets, your time, your hopes and dreams from the cradle to the grave.
It's time for the insanity of the United States to be taken out.
Mm-hmm.
They have no right running the country. They're not worth it. They need to pay the money that they owe us for what we have been put through, especially my daughter, myself, and my husband.
Mm-hmm. And the vast amount of this money would be used to uplift, elevate, upgrade,
needs help.
Especially people of color or living downtrodden.
Yeah, so pay the money you owe, and let Trump pay his money too, because you know something, it's growing because you all are doing much more.
Mm-hmm.
Your evil is too much. Pay the money. You can't use me as some sort of criminal like you did many of the people of color. Sick and tired of waiting, and we are going. If Trump continues to come here and behave that way, I will make sure that the people become aware of what he's doing next. He will be a nice person about it. Of you, and I'm sorry you had time at times.
Oh no, we living this way, trauma.
We normally are. We normally are.
Yes.
But we're not vicious or anything. But at the same time, when people terrorize you, persecute you, kill out your family, do this and do that, you know what you go through inside? You go through a great deal of pain. Because these are people that you love and that they're beautiful human beings. These are not people who, my mother worked for the government too. They killed her for no reason. That's evil.
Yes.
And then looking to put other people in jail for being a color.
Yes.
Leave my brothers and sisters. I love them very much. Stop harming them.
Content of what you've heard resonates with you. We invite you more information about what's happening to you and to others in the world and to this family by people who have made themselves lords and masters over your lives from the cradle to the grave.
Yes, I was calm and quiet in the past all my life.
Yes.
Until I met these people and saw the kind of treatment and behaviors that they were conducting.
Yes.
That is very difficult to take.
Yes.
And then persecution in the streets and your family being unfairly treated, the daughter. I mean, why? Good people, well trained. That's the kind we need in the society. And if they did not interfere and tamper with their prejudices, we wouldn't live. Blessings to you, and I'm sorry if I was too angry, but that's all I can show you because of what has been done to us.
And the pain.
When you feel the pain
suffering.
and you go through this stuff, it's a lot of things going through your head and you're angry and you just want this to stop.
Yes.
And no one is doing anything, even the FBI that is supposed to be helpful to the people, for listening to us.
Yes.
I wish you all the best. And do the right thing. Don't hurt people. Help them. When you treat them well, you will see them behaving properly. When you persecute and you terrorize, I'm a great example of what happens to people when they're terrorized, and as much as I have been, and my family has. So please recognize that we can all live in a way in which we were born to, taken advantage of. You gave the government the right to be able to come and stay in the country with the people. And look what they did. They turned around and now they're the bullies, controlling everything, everybody, and doing damage and lying and stealing and cheating.
Yeah.
Blessings to you. Pray for that.
Goodbye.